Sir Guy Music, welcome back to another edition of Sir Guy Music. Today we're going to discuss major scales on piano. Alright, let's get started. Even if you're not playing a piano, I think, like you play guitar or something, I think playing a major scale on a piano is so visual and so easy, things are going to make sense and you're going to be able to, understand scales easiest if you're using a piano. Okay, so we're going to discuss the C major scale, which basically is just playing all the notes from one C on the piano to the next C on the piano, and you're just playing the white notes. Then you can go backwards. I'm sure you guys have heard something like that before. Do, re, mi, fa, and so on and so forth. Now that's the C major scale. Let's say we're playing a song and the key is C. Well, what that actually means is the key is C major. Unless they say the key is C minor or C diminished or something else. If they just say the key is C, that automatically means it's in the key of C major. Okay, so here's my notes that I know, right? I know those notes are the C major scale, and if I'm playing a song in the key of C or C major, doesn't matter what they say, I know those are the notes I need to use. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's say we're playing something silly like Louie Louie in the key of C. Right, I used notes from the C major scale, and I'm playing in C. Let's put the rhythm on it. There we go, C major, hooray. Now we can play Louie Louie in the key of C. So what's the point of all this? Well, let's say you're composing something and you want to do it in C, or you want to do it in a scale. You start maybe in C major, and if you want to just start from a C, go for a walk, and come back to C, doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're following the rules of C major, it's going to sound like something. Let's try it. I mean, that wasn't a particularly inspired song. It was just a few notes thrown around in the key of C major. Most songs that we hear today might be in a key, but they'll change a little bit. They'll play over top of a C for a while, then maybe they'll play over top of an F for a while, or a B flat. Okay, so things get more complicated. They don't always just stay over a certain scale. The scales can change throughout a song. Which is why I've got this sheet. Oh boy, take a look at this one. All right, you're going to see this one in class, and if you want to pause this and take a look at this, well, you're welcome to. There's some details on this sheet that I want to explain to you. Let's take a closer look at this C major scale, right? I can see here I've got this C, which has a big star on it, and another C that has a big star on it, and another C that has a big star on it. I think that's because in a C major scale, C is the most important note. Huh, imagine that. Then, of course, all the other notes that are circled are the notes that we need to know how to use, or notes that we know belong, I should say, in the C major scale. Except for these G's. What's these G's? These G's have a little star on top of them. Well, that G has got a star on it because it's what's called the perfect fifth of the C, meaning it sounds really nice, basically. So if I play a C and a G at the same time, wow. That's a really nice harmony, those two notes together. I could do another C maybe another G down here and another C. Let's do it. And I'll put another G up top. Wow. So right now I'm just playing a bunch of C's and G's. And you can imagine when they were inventing scales and then someone played a C and a G together, the perfect fifth. They said, wow, that we got to name that something good. How about the perfect fifth? Hey, that's a good name for it. Okay, now why is it called the fifth? Well, because it's the fifth note that you would use in the scale. If we look at this C major scale again, and let's say C is number 1, and then we get back up to this one, well, that would be number 1 again, or number 8, whatever you want to call it. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, perfect 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, whatever you want to call it. We can call it either. Okay, so here's the challenge to you. I've given you this paper, right? There's a bunch of copies of this in the classroom if you need one. Also, I suppose you could just, I'll scan it slowly across here. You could pause your camera and take a close look at these scales, right, on your camera, so you can figure out how to work in these other scales. I think I've got D major, F major, G major, B flat major. These are all some good scales you can learn. And all the scales have their own nice harmonies and their own perfect fifths. And you know, you can play one scale for a while, then change to another in a song, and it'll be wonderful. So this is a good composing tool. This is a good tool for figuring out a song. This is important stuff. Very handy to know. Okay, major scales on piano. There you go.